Greetings and salutations, I'm Duncan Hoover, and welcome to a new, topic I'm going to be doing whilst off my phone. This is called character talk, or what the character is. And what it is it's basically going to be me talking about characters I have made up for different universes or some other stuff I work for. I think I'll just call it Content Hub or something like that. So the first character I thought would kick off our day is my Star Wars character. Note, he is not coloured. So say hello to the 501st clone... yes, my drawing is shocking. I have sucked at drawing Star Wars helmets. Some of them are like really good, some of them aren't. I mean, for instance, the only decent ones out of this one are this one, slightly, and the Scoutship. Anyway, Clone Commando Delta, or Delta 0003303. Born on Geonosis and serving in the 501st Legion, Delta is a clone commander. His group was called Delta's group, operated under the name of Sigma Squad, and were often used, like most clone commandos, behind the back lines. Notable missions include teaming up with fellow 501st member Pathways, shout out to KrytenPrime, when teaming up with the Zabrakian Jedi Padawan under the owner of Plo Koon, shout out to Pink Girl 03 on DeviantArt, who leads them on a mission that no one is informed of, and eventually an escape, and then eventually a rescue by Plo Koon, who figures it out. Other things about Delta is he teams up with other clone commanders and even a Jedi, his own Jedi, to fight up against others. Members of the squad included Theta 0002, Gamma 04, Beta 01, and Clover 972. Shout out to Karen 92. Around the time of Order 66, Delta was the only one of his clone commandos in his group to still have the inhibitor chip. The others had long since found out about it and removed it, neglecting to inform Delta. When Order 66 came, he was serving under a Jedi Twi'lek, who did not have the two massive things on him, named Jedi Master Nuruk. Nuruk and Beta, Gamma, Clover, and Theta had been working to try to upheave Palpatine's rule on the Senate, and unfortunately were too late. This mission would have actually proven Palpatine's guiltiness, only to be foiled by Order 66 and Delta. Delta proceeded to kill his entire clone unit, and then shot his Jedi Master in the back of the head, taking his lightsaber as his own. Serving as a stormtrooper, Delta worked as one of the many clone Jedi hunters. He didn't wear the Purge Trooper armor, which we've seen, but he wore a black stormtrooper armor with a black and red visored Scout Trooper helmet with a blue 03 painted on it. Delta was highly respected and guarded by both Palpatine and Vader for his efficiency at getting the job done. Excuse me. Delta's effectiveness with killing Jedi and whatnot would often lead many people in the galaxy to learn about him and calling him the Second Vader. Until an unfortunate re-encounter with his former Jedi Master led him to question the Empire quite badly, and him for a time joining the rebels for a bit. His armor still wore the Imperial symbol, but underneath it had the Rebellion symbol and a former New Republic symbol on it. After learning about an atrocity committed by the rebels, Delta really returned to the Empire after killing the Jedi Master that had been leading a rebel cell. After learning of the demise of Kanan Jarrus, Ezra Bridges, and Grand Admiral Thrawn, Delta would later be quite badly injured in a fight between him and Blast and another unnamed Jedi, which would result in Delta being upgraded to a Death Trooper. As a Death Trooper, Delta became even more nasty with killing that he often was regarded as an elite Death Trooper due to how frequently he trained. Training always got him better, using both a lightsaber and a shortened the blaster looks like an M15 with a dual drum barrel, the MG15 based gun. A shortened one with a recharging power pack that would recharge that. Delta was effective at still killing Jedi and as well high-ranking rebel targets until he and a reactivated Beta inside a rebuilt battle droid, along with his R7 unit, R7 Astrometric, R7P4, would crash land on the uncharted world in the Outer Rim galaxy in the unknown region called Finir. Finir was a heavy force planet and gave Delta the Force due to exposure. With Delta's ability to connect to the Force, he used the Force to heal most of the injuries he received and learn of Pathway's and Fenwick's deaths, but not his former Jedi Master. After eventually rebuilding a capital ship strong enough to leave Finir and a new starship, Delta left and was quickly found by the First Order and was given the ability to upgrade his ancient Death Trooper armor into an elite Praetorian Guard, in which he accepted. This Praetorian Guard attire was much bigger and bulkier than the other Praetorian Guards, and he didn't have the silly little staff that they had, instead using his old master Tuniv, whatever I said the Twi'lek's name was, lightsaber. After Episode 8 and the failures he witnessed there, Delta left the First Order. When General Hux and some of the other people tried to get him back, Delta called them a flawed group of the Empire, stating that they took nothing of the good of the Empire and only focused about the shit of it, which is why he quit the first time. Delta would go along with Fenwick and Pathway's daughter and a blue Zabrak named Blaze and Talon, to form the Grey Order, an order of Force sensitives that taught both the light and dark side of the Force, believing that is the true balance. During Episode 9, Delta and this Grey Order would lend their ships to help defeat Palpatine yet again. After the defeat of Palpatine and the death of Ben Solo, Delta would return to the homeworld of Fenwick, where Pathway and Fenwick, along with Slugs and his Jedi Master, whom he had feelings for, the Zabrak Jedi Master, the female one, not the blue one, where he would pass away from old age, being well over 100 years of age. Fenwick's daughter, and Blaze and Talon would be the only two to acknowledge Delta's death. The farmhouse in which Delta and Slugs and that were buried became removed from the maps, as Delta's lightsaber was buried with him. Rey Solo eventually connected with the Grey Order to help found the Grey Jedi Order to reteach Force sensitives the correct way of the Force on the world Malachor, on the moon of Malachor 5, using the Malachorian 5 pyramid as a temple, fully deactivating it before they can, reactivating Force-sensitive statues that would activate as the secret guardians of them. Each Force-sensitive statue was that of a Jedi that had been long since passed. Statues of Qui-Gon Jinn, Mace Windu, Master Yoda, Yaddle, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Anakin Skywalker, Luke Skywalker, Princess Leia Organa, or Leia Skywalker, Ben Solo, Darth Vader, Kylo Ren, Darth Revan, Darth Bane, Darth Malak, and so on, even Darth Nihilus, were quickly placed around, as students could learn both the light and dark side of the Force and were taught how to evenly use it. A statue of Delta was even erected alongside the clone troopers that were most valued. These statues included Pathways, Slugs, Captain Rex, Commander Cody, Bly, Gree, Apo, and so on. In the years past, somebody did find the planet and stole Delta's lightsaber, resulting in Delta to return as a Force entity and hunt them down. Fenwick's daughter would be the only one to encounter this returned Delta, who would return into his Praetorian Guard in the last thing she saw him in, the Praetorian Guard armor, where the two would team up and kill the thief of the lightsaber, eventually moving the planet via the Force. It was later found out that Ezra Bridges was alive, as a message from Delta on a holodisc that Fenwick's daughter, I forget her name, sorry, Mark, and delete her, would clarify where he was, as Delta had nothing much better to do but would locate them. After finding both Admiral Thrawn and Ezra Bridges, both of who had been living on a planet in a somewhat stalemate of rivalry, the two were brought back into the galaxy. Admiral Thrawn would would help the Grey Order by becoming the commanding force of its ships, whilst Ezra Bridger would become a Jedi trainer, where he too would become a Jedi Master alongside Fenwick's daughter, Blazing Talon, who became a Sith Master, and Rey Solo. The last known thing about Delta is that his ship, along with the R7 and Beta, was transformed into a graveyard ship after it was shot down by pirates and Hutts, where Beta and R7 continue to live to this day. So that is Delta 033303, the clone commando who served in both the Empire, the First Order, and the Republic, who eventually died because he had had enough. I will have more characters and more things to talk about in the near future. This is Duncan Essentially Wants to Be On, and I'll catch you next time. Bye!